Every sports car carries a promise, but not all promises are the same. Some are about precision, speed, and control. Others are about freedom, sensation, and emotion. And nowhere is that difference more obvious than when you stand in front of a coupe or a convertible. One is a fixed, disciplined statement of design and engineering, almost like a machine built to perform with no compromises. The other is fluid, expressive, and alive, inviting you to drop the roof and feel the world around you in a way that no enclosed car can replicate. This choice is rarely simple, yet it is one of the defining decisions for anyone who wants more than just a car. They want an experience. Today, we are going to explore that choice in every detail, not from a marketing angle, but from the perspective of real-world ownership, driving experience, comfort, value, and emotion. Whether you are a weekend thrill-seeker or a daily driver who wants both style and reliability, this video will give you the insight to decide which type of sports car aligns with your lifestyle, personality, and long-term satisfaction. When you think about coupes, you probably imagine precision, clean lines, and a controlled driving experience. The roof stays put, the chassis feels rigid, and every line of the body seems to be saying, "I know what I am, and I perform my role flawlessly." Think of cars like the Porsche 911 Carrera or the BMW M4 Coupe. They embody this sense of discipline. Convertibles, on the other hand, feel like a different breed entirely. They promise unpredictability, exposure, and a sense of freedom that makes every drive feel like a special occasion. The Mazda MX-5 Miata or the Jaguar F-Type convertible are perfect examples of this spirit. But the reality of living with these cars goes far beyond how they look or how they perform on a racetrack. The daily experience, long-term ownership, aging, and maintenance all play a crucial role in whether a car remains exciting or becomes a source of frustration. That's why we are going to break down everything from first impressions to how these cars behave after thousands of miles, so you can understand not just which car excites you, but which car will truly fit into your life. The moment you see a sports car, before the engine starts or the door opens, design begins shaping your expectations. A coupe communicates purpose immediately. The fixed roof creates a single, uninterrupted silhouette that feels complete and intentional. Cars like the Audi R8 Coupe or the Nissan GT-R show this perfectly. Every line flows into the next without compromise. The roofline anchors the design and gives the car a sense of tension and balance at the same time. From the front fender to the rear quarter panel, everything feels locked together. This visual stability creates confidence, even before driving. A coupe looks like it was designed to perform, not to transform. Many enthusiasts are drawn to this feeling of permanence. The car looks serious. It looks focused. It looks like it belongs on the road regardless of weather, time, or setting. Over years of ownership, this consistency becomes comforting. The design does not rely on conditions to look right. It simply exists as it was intended. That reliability in appearance often mirrors how the car behaves mechanically as well. A convertible presents itself in a completely different emotional language. Its design is built around the promise of openness. Roof down, the car feels alive in a way few vehicles can match. The Chevrolet Corvette convertible or the Mercedes-AMG SL Roadster are great examples. The cabin becomes exposed to the sky. The driver is no longer isolated from the environment. Sunlight fills the interior. Engine noise escapes upward instead of being trapped inside. Even at a stoplight, a convertible feels like an event. It attracts attention effortlessly. People notice it not because it demands respect, but because it invites curiosity. This design is about experience more than structure. It tells the world that driving is not just transportation, but a moment worth savoring. For many owners, this feeling never gets old. It turns routine drives into memories. The design exists to enhance emotion rather than discipline it. That is the core appeal of a convertible. There is also a psychological layer to design that goes beyond aesthetics. Coupes often attract drivers who value control, structure, and intention. The closed roof creates a sense of enclosure that feels focused and private. The cabin feels like a cockpit rather than a stage. Convertibles attract drivers who value sensation, exposure, and expression. The open roof removes barriers between the driver and the world. This difference is not about performance or price. It is about mindset. One design emphasizes mastery. The other emphasizes freedom. Neither is wrong, but they fulfill very different emotional needs. Understanding this distinction is crucial, because design is not just what you see. It is how the car makes you feel every time you sit inside it. Over long-term ownership, design becomes less about first impressions and more about emotional alignment. A coupe tends to feel like a long-term partner. It integrates into daily life without demanding attention. A convertible feels more like a special companion that asks for the right moment. When conditions are perfect, it delivers something unforgettable. When they are not, it can feel slightly compromised. The question is not which design is better. The question is which one fits how you actually live. Design sets expectations, and expectations determine satisfaction. This is why choosing between a coupe and a convertible is as much about self-awareness as it is about styling. The biggest mechanical difference between a coupe and a convertible reveals itself the moment the car starts moving. A coupe benefits from a fixed roof, which is a critical structural element. That roof connects the front and rear of the car, creating a rigid shell that resists twisting forces. Cars like the Ferrari 488 GTB showcase this rigidity. When you turn the steering wheel in a coupe, the chassis responds as one solid unit. The front end reacts immediately, and the rear follows in a predictable way. This creates confidence, especially when driving aggressively or at higher speeds. Even during normal driving, the car feels composed. There is less flex, fewer vibrations, and a general sense that everything is working together. This structural integrity is not something most drivers consciously think about, but they feel it instinctively. Weight also plays a significant role in how these cars drive. Convertibles are almost always heavier than their coupe counterparts. The added structural reinforcements, roof mechanisms, motors, and additional bracing increase overall mass. That extra weight affects acceleration, braking, and cornering. Even if the engine output is the same, the car may feel slightly less eager to change direction. A coupe, being lighter and stiffer, often feels more agile and responsive. It reacts faster to driver inputs and maintains composure during spirited driving. This difference becomes more obvious on twisty roads or during performance driving, where precision matters more than sensation. Ultimately, the driving difference comes down to priorities. If you value control, feedback, and predictability, a coupe will almost always feel better. It rewards precision and confidence. If you value experience, immersion, and emotion, a convertible offers something a coupe simply cannot replicate. Neither approach is wrong. They are just aimed at different kinds of enjoyment. One emphasizes mastery over the machine. The other emphasizes connection with the moment. Understanding this distinction helps avoid disappointment later, when the initial excitement fades and the true character of the car reveals itself through everyday driving. Daily driving is where the fantasy of owning a sports car meets reality, and this is often where the difference between a coupe and a convertible becomes impossible to ignore. A coupe is designed to behave the same way every single day, regardless of conditions. Whether it is early morning traffic, sudden rain, dust, heat, or cold, the experience inside the cabin remains largely consistent. Noise levels stay controlled. The interior feels insulated. Climate control works efficiently. The driver can focus on the road without constantly reacting to the environment. This predictability reduces mental fatigue over time, especially for people who use their sports car more than just on weekends. The car becomes easy to live with, not something that demands attention or planning before every drive. With the roof up, modern convertibles try to replicate the comfort of a coupe, but they rarely match it completely. Soft-top roofs provide less insulation from noise and temperature changes. Hardtop convertibles improve this, but they add weight and complexity. Over time, seals can wear and allow more wind noise to enter the cabin. Small vibrations may develop. These changes are often gradual, making them easy to ignore at first, but noticeable after years of ownership. A coupe's fixed structure tends to age more gracefully in this regard, maintaining a consistent driving environment for longer. Cars like the Toyota Supra GR Coupe show how well a fixed roof design can hold up over time. All of these factors shape how these cars integrate into everyday life. A coupe blends into a routine more easily. It asks less from the driver and gives consistency in return. A convertible asks for awareness. You check the weather. You think about when to lower or raise the roof. You accept that some days the car will not deliver its full experience. For some owners, this involvement is part of the charm. For others, it slowly becomes tiring. Daily comfort is not about excitement. It is about how often the car feels effortless to use, even when you are not in the mood to be enthusiastic. The Ford Mustang Convertible is a great example of a car that can feel thrilling on the right day, but asks for more attention when conditions aren't perfect. Convertibles introduce an entirely new layer of complexity that owners must be prepared for. The roof mechanism itself is a sophisticated system. Whether it is a soft top or a hard top, it relies on multiple components working perfectly together. Motors, latches, sensors, weather seals, and electronic controls all need to function in harmony. When the car is new, this system usually feels flawless. But as years pass, wear becomes inevitable. Seals dry out. Motors slow down. Sensors can misread positions. Even minor issues can prevent the roof from operating correctly, turning a convenience feature into a source of frustration. Environmental exposure accelerates aging in convertibles more than many buyers expect. Driving with the roof down exposes the interior to sunlight, dust, moisture, and temperature swings. Over time, this takes a toll. Seats may fade unevenly. Dashboards can crack or discolor. Interior trim can lose its original texture. Even with proper care, the materials simply endure more stress than those in a coupe. A coupe's interior remains sealed and protected, allowing it to age more gracefully. This difference becomes very noticeable after 5 or 10 years of ownership, especially for cars driven frequently. The Lexus LC500 convertible is stunning when new, but its open design means owners must be extra careful with long-term upkeep. Structural aging is another factor often overlooked. Convertibles rely heavily on reinforced floors and side structures to compensate for the missing roof. As the vehicle ages, these areas can develop squeaks, rattles, or slight flecks, especially on rough roads. While this does not necessarily compromise safety, it can change how solid the car feels. Coupes, with their complete body structure, tend to maintain their rigidity longer. The driving feel remains consistent, which preserves confidence and enjoyment over time. This is particularly important for enthusiasts who value precision and feedback. Cars like the McLaren 720S Coupe demonstrate how rigidity translates into long-lasting driving confidence. Long-term ownership is not just about costs. It is about emotional sustainability. A coupe tends to reward owners who keep their cars for many years. It becomes familiar, dependable, and predictable. A convertible can remain thrilling, but it often demands more attention, more care, and more acceptance of imperfections as it ages. For some owners, this is part of the relationship. For others, it becomes a source of regret. Understanding how these cars age helps buyers choose not just what excites them today, but what they will still enjoy living with years down the road. When it comes to long-term ownership, one of the most practical considerations is value retention and resale potential. Coupes often have an advantage here because their mechanical simplicity, structural integrity, and predictable design make them appealing to a broader range of buyers years later. A coupe that has been well maintained shows consistent behavior, ages gracefully in both interior and exterior condition, and does not require extra attention to specialized systems like retractable roofs. For buyers who consider selling or trading in their car in the future, these factors can translate into tangible financial benefits. The resale market for coupes remains healthy because they appeal to enthusiasts who value performance and dependability over spectacle. The Aston Martin Vantage Coupe is a good example of a car that holds its appeal over time. Enthusiast buyers may still pay a premium for a rare or highly desirable model, but for mass-market convertibles, the risk of accelerated depreciation is real and should be considered when making a purchase decision. Beyond resale, value also comes down to personal satisfaction and cost of ownership over time. Coupes usually incur fewer unexpected costs because they lack complex roof mechanisms and experience less environmental exposure. Routine maintenance is straightforward, parts are often less expensive, and the likelihood of interior or structural repairs is lower. This predictability adds an intangible kind of value, peace of mind. Owners know that the car will behave consistently, age predictably, and maintain performance without requiring constant attention. Convertibles, on the other hand, demand a slightly higher level of vigilance. Owners often need to plan for roof maintenance, more frequent inspections of seals and mechanisms, and potential repairs to interior materials affected by sun and weather exposure. While these costs may not be prohibitive, they are cumulative, and for owners who intend to keep the car for many years, they can influence whether the car feels like a smart investment or simply a fun indulgence. Choosing between a coupe and a convertible ultimately comes down to aligning your priorities with your lifestyle. If you value consistency, long-term reliability, and mechanical purity, the coupe makes sense. It integrates into daily life seamlessly, feels predictable on every drive, and retains a practical edge when it comes to resale and ownership costs. It may lack the drama of open-top driving, but it rewards drivers who want a car that performs, looks aggressive, and ages gracefully without surprises. A convertible excels in a different dimension: emotion, experience, and immediate gratification. It transforms ordinary drives into memorable events and delivers a sense of freedom that no coupe can replicate. However, that freedom comes with trade-offs: higher maintenance needs, more environmental exposure, and greater potential for depreciation. Recognizing these trade-offs before purchasing is crucial to long-term satisfaction. Now that we've explored every major aspect of coupes and convertibles, from design, identity, and first impressions, to driving dynamics, comfort, maintenance, and long-term value, you have the full picture. The choice is no longer about which car looks cooler in a photo or makes a louder engine note. It's about understanding how each car fits into real life. A coupe delivers precision, predictability, and structural integrity that makes everyday driving smooth and confidence-inspiring. A convertible delivers exposure, freedom, and an immersive sensory experience that turns ordinary drives into memorable adventures. Both types have advantages and compromises, and knowing those trade-offs before committing to a purchase ensures you enjoy your car to the fullest. Making the right choice isn't about following trends. It's about aligning your decision with your personality, your environment, and your long-term goals for ownership, performance, and emotional satisfaction. For those who value consistent performance, reliability, and a car that integrates seamlessly into daily life, coupes remain a very strong choice. They age gracefully, maintain their structural integrity, and retain value more predictably over time. They are less demanding in terms of maintenance and are more practical in most environments. Convertibles, on the other hand, are ideal for those who prioritize emotion, adventure, and sensory connection. They demand more attention and care, but in return they reward you with moments of exhilaration and a unique relationship with the road and environment. Choosing between these two types is ultimately about the balance you are willing to accept between performance, lifestyle, convenience, and experience. There is no universal answer, only the right answer for each driver, and understanding the nuances helps avoid disappointment after the initial excitement fades. Every car enthusiast faces this question differently, and your choice will reflect your priorities. If you want precision, durability, and a reliable long-term companion, a coupe like the Porsche 911 Carrera or BMW M4 Coupe will give you confidence and control every day. If you want freedom, sensory engagement, and the thrill of feeling the world around you while driving, a convertible like the Jaguar F-Type convertible or Mazda MX-5 Miata may be the car that fulfills that desire. And it's important to recognize that neither option diminishes the essence of being a sports car. Both deliver excitement, style, and the emotional connection that makes driving meaningful. What changes is how that connection is expressed, how sustainable it is over time, and how compatible it is with your lifestyle. By understanding these factors, you are not just buying a car, you are choosing the way you experience driving for years to come. So, when you stand in front of a coupe or a convertible for the first time, or scroll through listings online, remember what you've learned here. Consider not just the initial thrill, but how the car will feel in daily life, how it will age, how much care it requires, and how well it retains value. Think about your personality, driving habits, and what you actually want from years of ownership. That is how you make a decision that brings long-term satisfaction rather than temporary excitement. And if this video helped you understand the subtle differences and trade-offs between these two types of sports cars, make sure to leave a comment sharing which one you would choose and why. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel Next Gear for more detailed automotive breakdowns, comparisons, and insights that help you make smarter, more informed choices for your next car. Your journey to the perfect sports car starts with knowledge, and now you have it.